Aldi doesn't feel like a normal grocery store. It feels simpler, tighter, almost like someone removed half the decisions you're used to making. And that missing complexity is not accidental. It's the business model. Today, I'm going to show you how Aldi sells so cheap without relying on magic, and why their real advantage isn't a single product. It's a system. And at the end, I'll give you 3 practical lessons you can use if you want to build a business or build wealth the smart way. Let's start with the mystery. Most grocery stores run on one big idea. Offer everything, thousands and thousands of products, multiple versions of the same item, endless brands, constant promotions, and a lot of invisible cost behind the scenes. Aldi runs on the opposite idea. Offer less, move faster, waste less. So here's the tension. How can a store do less and still win on price while staying profitable? Quick experiment. Imagine you own 2 stores. Store A carries 25,000 items. Store B carries 2,000 items. Same customers, same city. Which store is easier to run? Store B. And easier to run is not just comfort, it's money. When you carry fewer items, you reduce the number of things that can go wrong. You reduce the space you need. You reduce the inventory sitting around. You reduce restocking time. And you reduce waste. Pause. This is where profit flips. A grocery store isn't only selling food. It's managing time, space, and mistakes. Aldi's first big lever is limited selection. People call it fewer SKUs. You don't think about SKUs as a shopper, but SKUs are like clutter. Clutter on shelves. Clutter in the back room. Clutter in ordering. Clutter in restocking. If you stock 8 types of ketchup, you need more shelf space for ketchup, more inventory cash tied up in ketchup, more time labeling and rotating ketchup, and more chances for ketchup to expire or get damaged. Aldi says no. We'll stock 1 or 2 ketchup options that move fast. That one decision repeats across the whole store. Fewer brands, fewer variations, faster movement. Now the twist. When items move faster, Aldi gets a hidden advantage. Bigger, simpler orders. Bigger orders can mean better supplier pricing. Better supplier pricing means Aldi can sell cheaper and still keep margin. And there's another advantage people don't notice. Speed brings cash back faster. Tiny math time. If you buy inventory and it sits for 60 days, your cash is trapped for 60 days. If you buy inventory and it sells in 10 days, your cash returns in 10 days and can be reused. Faster inventory turns can make a business feel like it has more money even when sales are similar. That's one reason Aldi can keep prices low. They turn the store into a fast machine instead of a giant catalog of choices. Now look at what you actually see on the shelves. Aldi is famous for private label. This is the second big lever. Private label means the store sells a product under its own brand rather than a national brand. Why does that matter? Because national brands spend huge money on marketing, packaging battles, and advertising wars. Some of that cost shows up in the price. With private label, the economics shift. Aldi is not paying for a brand war in the same way, and the biggest advantage is control. When you control the label, you control the pricing story. You can choose margin targets. You can simplify packaging. You can negotiate long-term supply. You can reduce the number of suppliers. And you can keep the customer comparing your shelf to your shelf instead of comparing 10 brands fighting for attention. Here's the part most people miss. A typical store uses constant promotions to create excitement. Coupons, weekly deals, rotating discounts. That creates price noise and operational noise. Someone has to plan the promos, print the tags, set the displays, reset the shelves, and manage the chaos. Aldi reduces that complexity by keeping the offer simpler and the pricing more stable. Stable pricing reduces promo labor. And labor is one of the biggest costs in retail. Now let's talk about the operational design choices that look small but add up fast. Aldi stores often have smaller footprints than big grocery stores. Smaller footprint means less rent, less lighting cost, less cleaning time, and fewer staff needed to manage the floor. Not glamorous, but powerful. They also design shelves for speed. You'll often see products displayed in boxes or cases. That's not laziness. That's labor saving. If a worker can place a whole case on the shelf instead of stocking one item at a time, that's minutes saved. Multiply that across the entire store and across every day, and it becomes real money. Another detail, customers bag their own groceries, and bags may be sold separately. Again, not just a few cents. It shapes behavior and reduces store labor and bag costs. Another famous detail, the cart deposit. A quarter to unlock a cart. That quarter isn't about earning revenue. It's cart management. People return carts because they want their quarter back. That reduces labor chasing carts and reduces mess in the parking lot. Tiny costs removed. And here's the overall theme. Aldi is not trying to be everything. Aldi is trying to be excellent at being simple. Now the question becomes, if this model is so strong, why don't all stores copy it? Here's the twist. The Aldi model requires discipline. Many retailers compete by adding more. More variety, more services, more departments, more experiences. Aldi competes by removing more, and removing features feels risky because it feels like you're giving customers less. But removing features can create cost advantages that competitors can't easily match with marketing. Also, Aldi's model changes the customer promise. You trade variety for price and speed. Some shoppers love that. Some don't. And that's fine. Aldi is designed for a specific decision. I want a solid product quickly for a good price. Now let's anchor all this with a simple unit economics view. A grocery store earns profit after it pays for the product, pays staff, pays rent, pays utilities, and pays for shrink. Losses from spoilage, damage, and theft. If your store is complex, your costs rise in every category. If your store is simpler, your costs fall. Aldi attacks multiple cost categories at once. Fewer SKUs reduces inventory cash and waste. Private label improves pricing control. Smaller stores reduce rent and utilities. Case-ready displays reduce labor. Customer bagging reduces labor. Cart deposit reduces labor. Stable pricing reduces promo complexity. When you stack small savings across the whole system, you create a price gap that is hard for competitors to close. That's why Aldi can feel cheap consistently, instead of only during sales. Now let's end with 3 practical lessons you can apply. Lesson 1. Simplify the offer. Most small businesses lose money in complexity. Too many options, too many versions, too many special cases. Every extra option creates hidden labor and hidden mistakes. If you want to grow a business or build wealth, remember this. Simplicity scales better than complexity. Lesson 2. Control margin by controlling the product or the pricing story. Private label is one example, but the broader lesson is, if you only sell someone else's branded thing, you often compete only on price. If you control the offer, you can design margins that keep you alive. Lesson 3. Operations is strategy. Aldi proves that the boring choices, inventory speed, disciplined costs, simple processes, are not background details. They're the engine. Now in the next video, we're breaking down self-checkout. The real reason stores want you to scan your own items, the profit math behind it, and the hidden cost most people don't notice. Subscribe if you want more simple breakdowns that teach you how companies make their money.